Because I think what will be said, Arsenal are scoring goals.
Not enough. We struggle to score goals.
Well, if we score two, so take the Tottenham game, we scored 2 goals.
We did, yeah.
We were poor.
But one was from a corner.
At moments, I should have said defensively we were poor against Villa because we were poor against Villa and we conceded 2 goals, but we scored 2 goals. So I think what Arteta is going to be saying is we need to stop conceding.
The Football Drop Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Football Drop Podcast. My name is Will, and with me I have got the one, the only, the legend, the DILF, Benjamin Suel.
Hello. How are you doing?
Yeah, I thought we haven't really introduced ourselves for a while, and people must be listening going, I don't know what these 2 guys are called. So I thought I'd just introduce us. Plus, it's just like an excuse to give you a compliment.
If you're watching us on YouTube, the names probably give it away on the screen, to be fair.
They don't come up on the screen, so
they're not.
You. No, I'm glad. I
thought they do.
Watching our YouTube religiously every week.
Oh yeah, that's why we only get 0 plays because you don't watch it either.
Well, there was that one, yeah.
There was that one time.
There was that one time at Bandcamp.
That one time at Bandcamp. Do you think we're showing our age when we say stuff like that?
Mate, I showed my age on the last episode when I said to that Chelsea supporter, Jay, was it like Zola and Vialli who got you into supporting Chelsea? And he was like, well, I wasn't even born then. And I thought, shit, I am getting old.
Yeah, I can imagine that must have cut deep for you, mate.
That was a bad day for me, Ben.
No, I can imagine, mate.
That was a very bad day. Very, very, very bad day.
Poor Will. Bless you.
Now, I need to tell you something, mate.
Go on.
I have bought a multi-USB port so that I can just switch it around into whichever laptop or computer I'm working on. How up to date am I?
Wow. 3 years it's taken you. 3 years.
It's incredible, isn't it? I did, dabble with one of those hub things, but unfortunately, the USB-C port in my laptop doesn't work. I had to get rid of that pretty sharpish.
Yeah, very sharpish. 2 years. Very sharpish.
Yeah.
You were quick to react.
Mate, I am like Calvert-Lewin in the box against Tottenham. Fucking quick.
What, Twinkle Toes?
Twinkly.
I wish you were Twinkle Toes on the pitch, mate. We need some goals from you.
I scored last week.
No, we still need some more goals, though.
Yeah, it's a bit...
It's cup games, mate. This is the final 2 games of our team before we all get broken up and disbanded. However, we are still together.
Together forever.
Yeah. Nice. New team. And we're wearing sky blue, which is really disappointing.
That was the worst decision. I reckon Adam is having a fucking good old laugh to himself at that.
%. Oh, Rich has been like, yeah, put him in there.
Yeah.
Put him in there. He's like, look, they hate City.
He knows we're Gooners, Adam, and he probably knows that Ali supports Chelsea because Ali's a bit like you with telling people that you went to like a grammar school. Not like
Mate,
a grammar school.
I don't know why you say this because Laura agreed to wind me up. Ali agreed to wind me up, and now it's a thing. It's bullshit.
You tell everyone pretty much the first time you meet them that you went to a
No, I
school.
don't.
Ali tells them that he supports Chelsea, so Sky Blue, they're fucking having a laugh.
Ali's like, hi, I'm Ali, I'm a Chelsea supporter.
Hi, I am Ali, I'm a Chelsea supporter. You're like, oh, hi, Ali, nice to meet you. I went to grammar school.
Hi, I'm Will, I've got morals and I live by my values. Precariously.
Here we go. We've got the feisty one out. He's got his teeth out. Here we go. He's going to go in now. 2-footed.
There we go. No, we want to talk briefly just about our updates for our fitness this week. So last week,
sorry,
you lost some weight.
I finished my sentence, but yeah, let's crack on with that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, good. You lost weight last week, didn't you?
I did lose weight, yeah.
Congratulations.
It's one of those things, isn't it, mate, where you come back after Christmas, you're ready to sort of, like, I can't remember what the word that I was going to say was, but you, like, sort of start as you mean to go on.
You do?
And then the third week in January, you think, yeah, I'm going to have a good week. So Monday goes well, Tuesday goes well. And then those old habits from Christmas start to creep in, don't they?
No, not for me so far. You not had a good week though then? Is that what you're trying to say? After a good loss last week?
Thursday to Sunday, I ate like everything that was in sight. I was just snacking.
What's the scales looking like for tonight?
So I was slightly up this morning and I haven't had the bottle to look again today. So I don't actually know. I'm going to wait till I get into my, I was going to say work gear. What's going on? Into my football gear. And then I will weigh myself and just see whether it's going to be a good or a not good. So I assume by that, you have had an amazing week.
I've not had an amazing week. I've been decent until Saturday. We went out for dinner for date night. But it was just a 3-course meal. But I was a little bit over calories, but not much. But that's all I had all day. Friday night we had a kebab, but it wasn't just like a greasy doner kebab. It was like a proper nice lamb shish kebab from Minster Meze. Highly recommend. It's so good.
Minster Meze is
good. Big shout out to
mate.
Minster Meze.
Yeah,
it was so tasty.
Did you say you went there for your birthday?
No, Laura's birthday.
Oh,
well, we got takeout. We didn't go there, but
so did my sister. Oh my god, that's so weird. They've got this birthday on the same date, and they went to the same restaurant for a takeaway on the same night.
So strange. Mind blown. But yeah, that was good. And then, what did I have yesterday? Yesterday we had mac and cheese, and it was banging.
Oh yeah, I was on the phone to you, weren't I, last night, and you was talking to me about mac and cheese. You rang me up basically to tell me I'm out for a walk and I'm having mac and cheese.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, get my steps in for the challenge. Yeah, mate.
But how? So I feel like you will trump me on the eating this week, but I feel like I've got you on the exercise. How's your?
You've definitely got me on the exercise this week. Yeah, absolutely. I've barely done any apart from steps.
Okay.
Like walks and stuff, I've just not had. Not really. I've not saying I've not had the time. I just haven't prioritised it, to be honest. But I'm happy enough that I've done the diet side.
Yeah.
So
80% is in the kitchen.
I'm not dropping. Yeah. So I think I'll get a little bit of a loss this week. Not as much as last week. Nearly 3 kg, I think, last week.
Okay.
But I don't think I'll get as much this week. I was 0.2 up this morning.
Right, you should get down though, shouldn't you?
Yes, it should be all right. And that was with like trackies and hoodie and stuff on as well.
Yeah.
So by the time we get football gear on, it should be okay.
Yeah. No, it should be all right.
I'll see before we go and see what it's like.
Okay, right. So this week I have done 5 sessions, weight sessions in the gym.
Wow, well done.
Football on a Monday night. I ran on Wednesday a 5K and then I did a 5K on Saturday. So exercise-wise,
well done.
I'm doing all right. So next week, or this
Proud
week
of you, mate.
What are you going to do differently to hold yourself accountable so you can come on the podcast next week and say, I have done whatever it is?
I'm going to go for 2 runs and a weight session next week, or this week. That's my aim. Nothing massive. Just got to start it, and that's my aim. If I do anything more, buzz in.
Mate, just starting it. Yeah. Just like you say,
exactly.
Do a couple of runs, even if it's half a kilometre, but you get a jog or, you get a kilometre, whatever it is. Yeah, do that. Oh, I did a run on Sunday, actually, with the kids. We did park run. That's pretty good to do, like, the kids' park run. I know Maisie's probably not going to manage the 2.5K run at the moment, but that is a good way to get into sort of having a little run.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Good shout.
So, okay, you've got 2 runs and a gym session in. What are you going to do in the gym, out of interest?
Probably just do a HIIT workout, I think, or maybe boxing.
Okay.
But I would like to do some weights at some point, so maybe I'll do a chest and shoulders.
We need to get together.
Love a chest and shoulders sesh.
We need a Rob Brydon, James Corden, Bryn and Smithy sesh in the gym.
I'm up for that. Topless. I'll come to yours for it.
Sweet, let's do it.
I'll see when I can. Obviously, depends on little Maisie Moo. But yeah, I'm up for that, mate. That'll be good.
I'm going to do another 5 weight sessions this week. And I'm going to continue with my run. So I'm going to get a football in. I'm going to get a couple of runs in. And I am going to stick within my calories this week.
Good man. Excellent. Well, look to see a nice little loss for next week, hopefully. That'll be good, man. That'll be good. Let's move on because there's quite a lot of football to talk about. A couple of sackings since we had our week off.
We've got 2 games because there was midweek games and weekend games. And we've got all the news that's been going on whilst we've been away as well. We've missed 2 weeks. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. I know we thoroughly enjoyed it and we've got another special coming for you ASAP Rocky, so tune
Yeah,
in
man, we
and
have.
listen. Yeah, sackings. So I wasn't surprised by the Lopetegui dismissal from West Ham United. I was quite surprised that Graham Potter took over though, and it was quite quick, wasn't it? The fact that it was kind of
Next
talked to Graham
day,
Potter
wasn't
to.
it?
Well, no, he was seen, wasn't he, with I've forgotten the guy's
He
name.
was seen on the
head of West
Tuesday,
Ham.
I think, at
Yeah.
training, wasn't he, or something? Or he's seen at the ground while Lopetegui was taking training. But the thing is, you know that this stuff goes on behind the scenes way before everything's announced. But that just goes to show, from my side of things, and how I take it, just how snaky it is at West Ham.
I think I'll be honest, mate. I don't like to save West Ham from some of their blushes, but I do think that's football in general. It is.
Yeah, probably.
There is a lot of that happens. Do you remember Arteta before? Like, I think Ljungberg was still in with the shout of getting it, and then all of a sudden you see Vinny, I think it was, at Arteta's house and stuff.
Yeah, but did you genuinely think Ljungberg was in with the shout of getting the job?
Not at all. But did Ljungberg know that he was out of it? He wasn't in with the shout for getting the job.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, as you said, you never know. But I was talking to Laura's dad yesterday. He came around. He's a West Ham fan. He loves the fact Potter's there.
Okay.
He's actually basically like, no, I think he's the right person for it. He's like, the fans need to get a little bit more realistic about what we're going for. He's like, we are a big club, but we're not a big club. He's like, yeah, we've got a bit of history and stuff. He's like, but we just need that stability. But I think, yeah, Potter's the right man for it. Interesting.
I don't think he's the wrong man, to be perfectly honest. I think I heard a couple of people talking about it on different podcasts and different sort of interviews and stuff, saying 2 years out is a long time to be
It is
out
a
of
long
football.
time.
But I think he can do a good job. I've got faith in him. I think he probably deserved a bit more time at Chelsea, but I understand why they did what they did.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think of his time at Chelsea? Was that a complete failure, or was he just not given enough time?
Bit of both, genuinely. I think he probably could have been given a bit more time, but I understand why they need to act quick.
Yeah.
Something that Spurs might be regretting.
Yeah,
but we'll come on to that. But the shocking one for me was the Sean
same
Dyche.
day as well, wasn't it? This or next day?
Sean Dyche dismissal. When I think about it, and I think that they've got Moyes in, and I think about the football that they play, and my thoughts on Dyche, I was still quite surprised. But also with hindsight, I shouldn't have been that surprised because I think it was coming.
I was completely shocked. I think that's a mental thing to do at this point in the season, when you know that he's got a very good chance of keeping him up. He's a decent manager. You know what you're going to get with him. He's straight up. And the thing is, he's been defending that club since day one. They've been an absolute shit show of a club. He's been that main person to fight for them. And I just feel like they've kind of treated him a bit shit by getting rid of him. However, behind the scenes, do you think, and I think this was on Rest of Football, they said this, so I'm not just making it up myself, but do you think that part of it is helping Dyche save face a little bit? So that, thank you, that it's probably not going to work out. We need you to make sure that we stay in the Prem. You've done a really good job for us.
Well,
do you want to just go?
Just to cut you up a little bit there, sorry, because I don't mean to. They didn't thank him in their statement.
They didn't, which is weird, isn't it?
They didn't thank him and his team. They just said they've left.
Yeah,
weird. I think Gary Neville said something along the lines of, normally you get the managers involved in the statement. So it could be that Dyche had oversight of the statement, saw the statement and was happy with it, didn't want banking or anything like that. But still, that doesn't feel right to me, because he saved that team and all the shit they've had.
With the deductions last season and still kept them up.
That was a bit unsavoury for me. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I agree. Something just doesn't seem right. No. But getting Moyes back in, I think it's a bit of a romanticised thing. I think you know what you're going to get with Moyes, to be fair, as well. I think he's got the respect from Everton fans. I think it's a little bit sour. He obviously left on a little bit of a sour note. However, he's got that history of keeping them top end of the table for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And they weren't doing that prior to him arriving. So I think he's got that kind of history there and a bit of backing. And obviously at the weekend, they turned on the performance. You just think, why couldn't they do that for Dyche? Is it the style of play, freedom?
He changed the system, didn't he? Moyes, he played 5 at the back, 3 in the middle. So yeah, he kind of did play about with the system, and it did work at the weekend. Although Dr. Tottenham, as they're being touted, did save them, because if you're struggling, you go play Tottenham.
Yeah, yeah, you really do at the moment. Yeah, you really do. Who's another manager that's under the cosh at the moment, isn't he? Big Ange.
Big Ange, yeah, we'll probably talk about that a bit more detail further on, because I just wanted to say to you, so Neymar.
Yes.
So he went. It was Al Halal, wasn't it? For
Halal, yeah.
An extortionate amount of money. He's on an extortionate amount of money, and I think he's played a handful of games for them, and has been injured for pretty much the entirety of his contract. Now,
yeah. Which is mental, isn't it?
Which is insane. And he's out of contract because he's done 2 years there, played a few games, got an absolute fortune, and spent the rest of the time on the sidelines, which I'm sure he didn't want. Like, I'm sure he's sort of annoyed about that, gutted about that. But anyway, so Chicago Fire in the MLS have put him on their draft. So
yeah, I've seen this.
That means they get first dibs, doesn't it, in that sort of draft?
Yeah, something. Yeah,
they play, and if somebody else wants him, then they have to go through Chicago Fire first before they can make an approach. So they've made an approach for him, which, considering Chicago Fire, who play in the eastern side, they were bottom, I think, in the MLS.
Oh right, okay.
Last season, dog shit. To have him in their draft is quite something, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Is it going to be like a Miami kind of situation? You just come from nowhere and sign a few good players, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah, possibly,
because it's all funded as well. Because he'll be one of their like special players where all the teams contribute. Same as what it is for Messi.
For Messi, yeah.
Which is still insane. So it blows my mind that that's a thing.
But quite, yeah. That's something else, isn't it? Like, can you imagine that? Yeah. We want you to pay for Harland, please. He's just signed a new year deal.
Yeah, we can't afford it.
New 9-year deal, which we can't afford. So can you guys chip in for us, please?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec, actually.
But yeah, I think Chicago Fire with Neymar, is that a better team than Chicago Fire without Neymar, given his track record?
It is if he's fit and can play. Then yeah, I think it is. Neymar's not what he used to be at Barcelona. We all know that because he didn't do it at PSG either. But I think he's still got something to offer. You don't just lose it completely. You've still got that quality there. Just whether he's got the will to play, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I'm here. So if you want me, I am available, Neymar.
$5,000 a week. Bosh, there you go. You'd happily take that.
Yeah, I don't know what I need to do for it, but
I'd take $2,500 to be your PA or something, mate. That's fine.
All right, so all of a sudden I've gone from $5,000 a week to $2,500.
No. I get $2,500 from the club to be your PA. Yeah, I'm not going to take it off you. God, that's not fair.
You would if I offered it to you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, let's talk about Harland's 9.5-year deal.
Mental, wasn't it?
That trumps all of Chelsea's ones, which is insane.
What do you mean?
All of Chelsea's like 25-year deals. They're actually only 8-year deals. So Harland's got the longest contract. Then the next 8 people are all Chelsea players.
Yeah, but what does that say? Is that just saying you've got to try really hard now, Real Madrid, in 2 years' time when you'll come for him?
Excuse me. That was my thought straight away. As soon as I saw that, I was like, yep. That's to protect the value of him, isn't it? So if he doesn't run down a contract, he's always going to be he's going to be a first £200 million player.
Oh, heard it here first.
Yeah. I think that's what it's set up to be, isn't it? Because he's on, apparently it's like $400-500 a week basic, plus goal bonuses and stuff. So realistically, based on what he does and what he has done in the Prem, apparently he could be close to $800 a week.
So is that then... You're staying with us. We want to make it virtually impossible for anyone to come and get you because we love you that much? Or is it, we'll give you a 9-year deal. We're going to put you on this much money. We're going to give you all of these bonuses, blah, 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 blah. In 2 years' time, it gives us a bit more leverage for if Real Madrid come in for you, which we know you want to do.
I think it's both on the face of it. I think I'll say to him, this is what, we want to keep you in. And I think they would. if Real Madrid don't come knocking, I don't think they'll say no to keeping him for that period because he's an insane player. And, if he does stay, Shearer's record is blown out of the water.
Well,
no doubt about it. That record is dead and buried. He has to score 18 goals a season between now and the end of his contract. He's beat Shearer's record. 18 for Harland is nothing. He does that in like 5 games normally.
Yeah, he'll probably do that in one game against Southampton this season.
I was just about to say against Southampton or an Ipswich maybe after the demolition at the weekend.
Well, yeah, quite.
Just get him on the end of a few. But I do think that preserves his value as well. So if Real Madrid do come knocking, they'll just go, look, he's got this. You're going to have to pay up a huge amount of money before we let him go. Because he is an irreplaceable player.
He's like you on this podcast.
No, he's nothing like that.
I think so.
Nothing like that.
I think so.
No, but I appreciate your kind words, mate. It's very nice, very nice.
No
what other news have we got then?
I don't know. Have you got anything else that you wanted to share, or should we move on to the weekend's action?
Let's move on to the weekend stuff because we can talk about some sort of wider pieces there.
Well, we've got the midweek, haven't we?
I can't remember now. Let me get up the scores, actually. I always forget about these double game weeks.
West Ham started life with a 3-2 home win at Fulham.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yep, 3-2 win. That was, to be fair, that was quite a close game.
It was.
But I feel like Fulham, I don't know, they seem to have this mid-season stutter a little bit. They always have a bit of a sticky patch where you just don't quite know what you're going to get with them. And then they all of a sudden pull themselves out of it again. And I feel like they're kind of going through that sticky patch around about now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I agree. They do seem to be doing that. I think they've got a real consistent with Robinson. I think you put him a shout as the best left back in the Premier League so far this season. And I was a bit like, really? And ever since that happened, I've sort of been a bit like, yeah, I think Ben was right.
Yeah, there you go.
Bobby's having a very good season.
Yes. Traore's looking pretty solid, actually, apart from in front of goal, but whipping the crosses in and one-on-ones.
And I think, thinking back to the game, huge error from Bernd Leno.
Yeah.
Huge error, which led Paqueta in to score. It just took his time. I just don't understand this still playing out from the back.
It infuriates you so much, doesn't it? Teams that play out from the back that can't do it. Like Southampton are still doing it. Not as much, but still doing it.
But, looking at it's just sort of shifting on to the Arsenal game as we do kind of like to do. Arsenal could sense that they weren't going to get something from playing out from the back. So Raya just started hitting his long. Whereas the other end, Tottenham keeper, is it Kimski? He just looked. He
was shaky, wasn't he? So in the North London derby. Badly.
Because, of course, me and you had a little date that night, didn't we?
We did. It's our first game for God knows how long that we've actually watched together in person, and it was lovely.
We sat down, we watched it together. There was some hand-holding.
Selgina watched as well. I think she didn't trust us together, but...
She sat on the sofa and played on her iPad. I think that was about as far as it got.
Yeah, she was on her phone until that died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And then she went, why don't Arsenal just score? And we was a bit like, yeah, this is a very fucking good question because...
Question of the season.
Put it to you, Arsenal need a new striker.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Do you think City need a new striker?
City do not need a new striker. So do you know what City are doing, Will? I don't know if you've seen it today. They've agreed a deal for Omar Mamouche, the striker from Eintracht Frankfurt.
Yes.
Who's tearing it up this season.
Doing very well, yes. That's why.
There's also some breaking news as well from West Ham.
Breaking news!
Put in 57 million pound bid for John Duran?
Correct.
West Ham, to be fair, they need a striker. Why are Arsenal not bidding for Duran?
Why are Arsenal not buying a striker?
Why are we not going for Mamouche?
Because I think what will be said, Arsenal scoring goals.
Not enough. We struggle to score goals.
Well, if we score 2, so take the Tottenham game, we scored 2 goals.
We did, yeah.
We were poor.
One was from a corner.
At moments. I should have said defensively we were poor against Villa because we were poor against Villa and we conceded 2 goals, but we scored 2 goals. So I think what Arteta is going to be saying is we need to stop conceding. That is our issue, is that we're conceding too many, which I kind of agree.
We are this
against
season,
United in the FA
yes.
Cup, against Newcastle, we
Yeah.
failed, we conceded. But I still think we need a striker to win this league. We need to tighten up at defence. We've had some injuries, which we've not really experienced for a couple of seasons. So,
Yeah, true.
We need a striker, Ben. I don't know how many more times I can tell you. And you work in recruitment, so can you go and sort it out, please?
We do need a striker. Yeah, totally agree with you there, mate. And I don't really think we're going to get one.
It's worrying, isn't it?
It is, because we're screaming out for one. Jesus is out for pretty much the season now. Saka's out until March time.
Yeah.
Havertz is in and out at the moment because he's struggling. Saliba's potentially out for a little while, which is not good. So we need a striker. We need a striker as an option anyway. We don't technically have a striker at the club.
No, and
an actual recognised striker. Mate, get rid of Sterling. Get rid of him. Just send him back to Chelsea.
It's just a waste of time and money. Like, he came on, didn't he, against Villa, and he had the crowd against him.
He's getting booed because he doesn't put the effort in.
Yeah.
He's just so disinterested.
But it was a nice watch. It's always nice to watch Tottenham get beat, which seems to be quite...
Yeah, but anyone could beat Tottenham now, apart from Man City.
It's something... Did you hear the interview with Ange, where they said something like it's a frequent occurrence or something like that? And Ange was like, what do you mean? And he said, well, you're losing. And he was like, oh, what a great way to start an interview.
I do think he's under pressure, but sometimes you see the journalists, they do ask some shit questions. And they are pretty shitty with people. Like, yeah, the managers, if he's not performing well, the team's not performing well, I get it. They're still humans.
And Ange looks down and out. I don't know.
He looks like a defeated man, doesn't he?
You see him and he's just talking like that.
But it goes to show, and it's a big question here for you, is the problem at Spurs the manager or the club?
Well, I think...
Because if you think back, Mourinho, Conte, Pochettino, they're good managers. And, he's a good manager. He's won stuff. I know in Scotland. He's won stuff in Australia. They're not terrible managers.
You ask a question and then you leave like a little pause and then you carry on talking. So I never know never know when to jump in. So I'm really struggling now. When do you need me to talk?
Now. Sorry.
Because you did it again. Anyway, so I think it's both, because I think hearing the Tottenham fans at the weekend when they obviously got beat again, shouting they won't leave you out. I mean, as you know, Everton were good. But I do think that Ange's misfortune is really down to the amount of injuries. And I think we had this conversation about Newcastle, was it last season, maybe the season before, where they had so many injuries throughout the season. And you're thinking, well, is it the training? Is it the players? Is it what's going on to get you so many injuries? There must be something happening.
Well, if you look at the injuries as well, the types, a lot of it's muscular, which is normally you're overworked.
Well, and that's the other thing, isn't it? That people say, Pep Guardiola is a big person to say we're playing too many games, and then people are calling for Tottenham to have a replay against Tamworth, which I don't know if they should be.
I'm all for replays. I think you've got to look at the greater good of the English game. I don't care about these European ties. You shouldn't have extended the Champions League. It is all for big clubs. So you're not actually looking after the domestic teams and competitions now. But that's what a big squad's for. That's what your youth teams are for. Your under 18s, your under 21s. You give them a chance.
Yeah, I know you're a big advocate for playoffs. Replays. I just don't know what good it brings other than that potential to have a replay. So say, for example, Tamworth. £60 million
revenue it would have brought.
Wait, let me finish. So Tamworth, Tottenham know that they might have to have a replay. Are they going to bring on the big guns in the 60th minute and finish the game in the end anyway? Because they brought them on in extra time and finished the game. So would it have just happened a bit sooner?
Quite possibly, yeah. But I think you get one more entertaining football. You're actually potentially playing less minutes then. It makes teams have to, go for it at the same time. But it also gives the smaller clubs like Tamworth that opportunity to go through. Because Spurs saying, our top players are playing too many games. We need to play our sort of youth prospect. Good. Makes it more interesting. So teams like Tamworth could go through to the 4th round, the 5th round, and get even more money if they get a home tie or an away tie and things like that. they can get the attention on them, and it builds the clubs and builds a reputation that way. Everyone's a winner. If you say in your team your players are playing too many games, don't play them. Simple as that. That's what you've got youth players for. You've got to integrate them into the first team more. Then, if you say they're not ready, that's your fault for not bringing them into the first team training.
Yeah. Well,
you manage the minutes. You talk to your medical staff and stuff like that, don't you?
We'll put this out on social media and see how we go on.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get absolutely torn apart for that.
I fucking hope so. I really hope so. Or do you know what you'll probably get is, this guy makes so much sense. Fuck off.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. If you listen on just audios, let us know. Drop us a comment. If you agree or not.
We digressed quite a bit then, didn't we?
We did. We knew we was going to talk about it a little bit though, but not.
Yeah, no, I agree. We'll avoid talking about the Arsenal in the FA Cup, though. What did you think of the Liverpool and Nottingham Forest game?
The draw, wasn't it?
It was.
Mate, Forest are on absolute fire. I think they're doing so well. Playing well. The thing is, they just play, and it's no disrespect to them, it's a simple system, and they play to their players' strengths, and it works.
Yeah, it certainly did work.
Everyone knows their job. There's a bit of rotation, but not much. They've got a pretty standard team. You know, they're generally their starting 11. Job done. Mm-hmm. And everyone seems to be on form, which really helps. But they've got that desire to win every ball.
Yeah,
they're a team.
I agree. Yeah, I think they do. They do the basics very, very well. They've got a really strong central defending partnership with that Murillo and Milenkovic.
Yeah, they look incredible.
Well. Chris Wood can't stop scoring. I think he scored more goals now in this season than he scored in any season before.
Yeah, I think he's matched it now after the weekend, didn't he?
I think he beat it. Yeah. And that was a great goal from him. And I thought Liverpool were down and out. And then Slot brings on Tsimikas and Jota. Tsimikas takes the corner straight away. And then Jota knocks it in, and you think, oh, fuck's sake.
No, they did drop 2 points, though, and that's why we need to see it in our title chase, which I don't think is a title chase, if I'm being completely honest.
No, absolutely not, no.
So...
I did see something, though. So Forest, they played yesterday, didn't they? They beat Southampton 3-2. Southampton actually started to come back into that. I thought at the start, Southampton were just dog shit. They can't defend. What has happened to Walker Peters, by the way? He's turned into like Ronaldo down that way.
Mate, he's insane, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's absolutely just like, Joe, I'm going to play some good football here now. Yeah, watch this, lads. Hold my beer.
But Southampton were undone by themselves in the end with that third goal. What? Just out of interest, what did you think of the Chris Wood offside that meant that the fourth goal didn't count?
Oh, because he was supposedly interfering with it. It's tough because he did block the run of that defender a little bit.
Yeah.
But arguably, I don't know. See, I was torn. Probably lent more towards, it should be ruled out. I do think he was interfering enough, especially because he's on form, he's scoring goals. You're going to be more aware of him anyway.
Yeah, I did think the same, actually. I did think, okay, I can kind of see that he is interfering with play there. But it did feel a bit harsh. But Forest saw out a 3-2 win there and are on the same amount of points as Leicester were in Leicester's title-winning year.
Mate, it's insane.
After the same amount of games.
It's incredible, isn't it? The thing is, they could still continue this throughout the season. There's no reason why they wouldn't, because they are playing some really good football, consistent football, and they just match up everyone.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they're going to get a Champions League spot. I tip them to go down.
That's mental.
In January, I think they're going to get a Champions League spot.
That's fucking crazy.
Unless they fall off a cliff. But you think Chelsea aren't firing on all cylinders, Arsenal aren't firing on all cylinders, City aren't firing on all cylinders. So there's no one really to stop them except for Liverpool. And they've got a win and a draw at Liverpool. You know?
Interesting.
It's
interesting to see what they do. I just can't imagine them in a Champions League, though, can you? Especially in this new league format. Because there'll be potentially 5 spaces for English clubs as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. And I think it's likely that Arsenal will get them as well, aren't they? Arsenal. English clubs will get them.
Yeah, because of the way the teams are performing in the competitions, apparently. I don't really know how it all goes, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Is there any midweek games that I know we sort of flitted between the two, but is there any midweek games you wanted to highlight yourself? Or should we leave
No,
most of
not
the
really.
weekend games?
No,
Do
I
you
mean,
want
Brentford Man City is a really good.
Yeah.
Brentford's, playing well. Bournemouth, big 2-2 draw against Chelsea as well. Bournemouth are an incredible team this season.
Well, I think Chelsea got lucky to get the draw. I mean, James right at the death.
Yeah,
was
great
very
free kick
fortunate.
though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was a good hit. You could see what it meant to him as well, which was actually quite nice to see. Because obviously he is made of glass, unfortunately, and I do feel for him. It must have been tough, but yeah, good on him.
And sticking with Bournemouth, mate, what a win!
I was going to say, yeah, let's start from that. They destroyed him.
They were so
Cliver,
good.
who arguably probably wouldn't have even started that game if Evan Nilsson was fit.
Yeah, good point.
Which is mental, and he scores his second hat trick of the season.
The second
He scores a hat
hat-trick
trick.
of the season. His
3
third
pretty
goal
good goals
was
as well.
his third goal especially was very good. And they could have had I think they'd scored another one that was ruled for offside. But Newcastle just looked a bit off the boil on that one, didn't they?
They did. Eddie Howe was like, I think the players were a bit jaded. I think that's his way of saying, like, we didn't play well. But there's an excuse. But I think Bournemouth just were better than them. Tactically, they were just on the ball. They knew exactly what they were doing. They went with a game plan, executed it brilliantly. And Iraola's doing a fantastic job.
Mate, what a job.
I just still go back to when he first joined and both of us were going, well, he's not had a great start. You went, yeah, but you need to give him time, see what he can do. And it echoes in my mind. It's just rent free now.
Yeah, I mean, I was doubting him. I thought, what have they done? But they stuck with him. And this is similar to what we were saying about Potter and Chelsea. You could maybe argue Lopetegui at West Ham, although I don't think so. But just stick with them and give them a bit of time, a bit of faith, and look what they can do.
Exactly.
Playing very good. And that was a very, very good game. I watched that one. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good. West Ham looked a little bit shaky. Palace looked pretty solid, to be fair, doing what they seem to do mid-season, start picking up the wins, don't they?
Yeah. It was a pretty sort of drab game, especially in the first half. There wasn't really anything to write home about, but yeah, Palace got the win. Similar to Liverpool, Brentford. I thought that was a good game, and then Liverpool, got 2 goals, 91st and 93rd minute from Nunes.
Insane game. So Liverpool had 37 shots, the most of any away team since the Opta stats began.
What is it?
Liverpool scored on their 36th and 37th shot. That's mental, isn't it? And Darwin Núñez off the bench to do it.
Yeah, super subs are coming in to save Liverpool, but I thought Brentford could have quite easily won that by a number of goals.
Yeah, it was just a strange game. Like watching the highlights of it, they both had so many chances. Like if you look on stats, you think, well, Brentford should have been absolutely buried. But I feel like their chances were probably, or arguably, more clear cut than most of Liverpool's.
Well, yeah, I think Liverpool only had 8 shots on target or something crazy.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the shot
to
on target ratio was pretty abysmal. Although I think their XG was like 3.1 or something.
But Brentford's home form is taking a slight dip. Still good, still one of the best in the league, but taking a slight dip. Unlike Leicester's 7th loss in a row. Do you think they're getting itchy feet?
Do you know what I think? I think when you sack your manager as swiftly as you do, and you go for a manager who is so unknown that you are just asking for a relegation battle, I just think out of all of the managers that they could have got, who they could have even gone for fucking Big Sam. Tony Mowbray's back in management. Why didn't they go for him?
Just on that, big shout for Tony Mowbray coming back.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Facing all those difficulties with cancer, coming back, sort of a romanticised reunion with West Brom as well.
Yeah.
And the room was full of journalists and press officers and stuff just to see him back. I thought it was a really nice touch.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Although you probably wouldn't have attended if you could, but someone's ill, you just sack them off. But no, that was great to see. Leicester sacking. Do they sack Rude? And they're all blaming the sporting director, aren't they? This Neil Rudkin, I think it is.
Yeah, he's been there for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And
He's the man behind the curtain, as they say.
It was kind of a bit of an unknown as to how he got the job after, obviously, the helicopter crash? I think they lost their previous sporting director, and now he's come in, and they're a bit like, what's happened here, and what decisions is he making, and why is he making the decisions that he is making? And
yeah,
a bit suspect that.
Yeah, it just seems a bit dodgy. It's like right place, right time for him. He's just lurking in the shadows, waiting for that chance.
Yeah, it's a bit like you on a Sunday afternoon, isn't it? Lurking in the shadows, waiting for your chance.
Oh, right. That's a bit of a weird thing to say, but okay. Everton spanked Tottenham.
They did.
The Moyes effect.
Is back in
Calvert-Lewin.
business.
What a goal.
Yeah, that's your goal of the week, isn't it?
That is my goal. I don't know about you, but that is my goal of the week.
Yeah, we're giving it to him, mate. Give it to him.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Give it to him, baby.
He's not scored for so long as well.
I know. And he's their number 9. He's like their main goal scoring threat, and he just doesn't score. Arsenal. There you go. Arsenal will sign him.
He'll get injured then as well, which would be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, Everton looked really good though. And Dye as well looked incredible.
Looked good all season.
Where'd that come from? Insane.
It looked good all season, I think. I think they, like I said to you earlier, the shape, Moyes changed the shape of the defence, 5 at the back, and that seemed to just work perfectly for them. I thought they were a much better team under who could arguably say a Premier League manager. Well done.
Yeah, it was good to see though. Good to see Everton get some points because Tottenham lost, which is nice. So obviously we spoke about Ange briefly. Do you think? I mean, Spurs are like 14th or 15th now in the league, which is just terrible. Let's be honest. That's outrageous. Is he only in a job because they're in the semi-final and they've already beat Liverpool in the first leg?
I think you have to take into consideration the injuries they've got.
But Tottenham don't do that. They sacked Jose days before their first final in God knows how many years. Jose Mourinho, proven winner.
Yeah, and then they lost the final. So I don't think they will do that, if I'm being completely honest with you. However, I think his time is numbered. I don't think he's coming back from that unless he wins this cup. They've got their eyes on a trophy and they think, okay, well, we're going all right in that. Let's forego the Premier League to get our hands on some silverware because they've got this big stadium with a big trophy room and they've got fuck all inside it.
Empty, yeah. And then you've got Man United, who've got a huge trophy room filled with trophies, but it's going to be added to for quite a while.
And
well, Amorim says so.
So much to talk about with Man United, isn't there? Where do you want to start?
Start with his press conference, shall we?
Okay. So his words were, I want you to have a headline. You need to have the headlines. We're not very good. This is maybe the worst Man United team in history. Incredible.
I don't understand why he would say this at this stage, because surely, I mean, logically, he has the rest of the season as a free pass. They know he's different system, different players. It's a free pass. Why would he? I don't understand why he'd come out with that now, unless he's backing himself up to say, I need you to spend some money on some players to fit this system because this team is absolutely dire.
It could be. It could be that. It could be that he's trying to drum up the team so that they feel like that they are under the cosh and that they need to improve, especially in the January transfer window. But what particularly made me laugh was, well, not laugh actually. Bear with me because it's going to sound pretty fucking horrific.
Oh, here we go. I can't wait for this.
Yes, I haven't meant laugh, but also a little bit. So obviously Dennis Law passed away. Yeah, that's not the bit that made me laugh.
Well, that's good. Makes a change.
Yeah, that he was part of the Manchester City team who, well, actually, he got the winning goal, didn't he, against Man United? Relegated Man United. So it was just ironic that, maybe ironic is the best way to say it, that on the same weekend that he passed away and that they had a memorial for him, the man that relegated them, although it wasn't, that he would talk about them being the worst team in the history of Man United.
Yeah. Bit morbid, that, to be honest.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Like, it's just, I get it, yeah. I see the association, but seems a bit morbid, mate. I don't want to try and back you up, but I have no idea.
You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a
Sort
bit of a
of,
link there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just thought that it was a bit odd, but could be for a whole host of things. But he's just been critical of his team, and it's hard, other than that team that got relegated, maybe, but it's hard to argue against him. I've certainly not seen a worse Man United. I mean, the mistake from Onana.
Yeah, I mean, there's mistakes all over the pitch. It's an aging squad. There's lots of overpaid players there. It's been badly run for a number of years. But the problem you've also got is he's come in, and similar to Ange, he's like, no, this is the way I play football. This is the way we're doing it. Rather than adapting to what you've got for the season, and then, training after the season and pre-season, training with the new way with some new players that fit the mould of what you want, he's sort of forcing the players, and some are working, like Diallo's absolutely thriving, which is great. Obviously, a young player, he knows what he wants to do, great. But it's not working for the rest of the team. Surely you've got to slightly damage control and just play to what you've got at this moment in time.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because I was just sort of thinking as you was talking that, you're taught one way, especially in Europe, you're taught one way. This is the right way to do it. And obviously you've got your own little changes within certain systems, within certain teams, of course. That's what makes them a team. But he's come in and he said, I want to play my way, similar to Ange. And of course, that's okay. You play your way. That's fine. But isn't there a transition?
Exactly.
Amarin's come in and said, right, I want you to play like this. They can't just play like that. There has to be a transition. There has to be a plan to get to where you want to be. Exactly as you kind of just said. So is it a lack of coaching know-how, or is it that we don't know what we're talking about and they're bang on?
Well, I mean, realistically, we know what it probably is, but I try and compare it back to when Conte took over at Chelsea as well. He plays three at the back. He refused to do what he wanted because the team didn't play that way.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, I appreciate what you can do. I'll keep going the way we've done. It's proven. You've been winning. That's fine. And then all of a sudden they weren't getting the result. And obviously it was a 3-0 loss against Arsenal. And then it was like, okay, now you're doing it my way, lads. I've given you time. It's not working. I've not changed anything, but this doesn't work anymore. Try it my way. And they won the league. So it can work when you adapt and give it a chance of what you've got at the moment.
Yeah.
But you need to almost get them to buy into it and prove to them that you're always going to work. So look, what you're doing at the moment doesn't work. Let's now try this. Whereas Amorim, I feel like he's gone in from day one like a bull in a china shop. Nope, we're ripping this up. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. This is what we're doing. And he's slightly egotistical, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Or he's just got one system. He knows how it works. He wants to continue to do that. And he's showing the board, I ain't got the players to do what I want to do. You've got to spend some money.
But they know that
already.
Surely they know that. They've hired him for a reason. He would have mentioned this during interviews. They would have seen Sporting play. They would have known what they're like and what their system is. And that's what they want. And that's why I don't understand why Amorim keeps coming out and saying very similar stuff every week. It just feels like an excuse.
Yeah, I do get it. I do hear you. Yeah, it's a strange one. But, we will see. We will see what happens with them. But, on the pitch, United were just so poor, weren't they?
They were really poor. Brighton were good. Brighton played up to it very well.
Yeah, but I think, Brighton are a very good team. They've had their run of form's been a bit hit and miss, isn't it, recently?
Yeah, it has, yeah.
I think they drew 5 in a row, something like that. And then they've got a couple of wins over the last couple of games. But the way Manchester United was set up, they were very sort of rigid, they weren't really sort of, there wasn't much movement in a sense of from their sort of roles. They knew what they had to do, but couldn't sort of be a bit more fluid with it. And Brighton sort of really exploited that. So yeah, it was an interesting game. Well done to Brighton. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, they did really, really well. They always seem to play well against bigger teams, don't they, Brighton?
Yeah, that's true.
They always up their game against them.
And sort of lastly, I think Manchester City absolutely ruined Ipswich.
Demolition, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It just clicked. De Bruyne looked like he wanted to play football again.
Yeah. And do you know what the most frustrating part of all of that for me was? Manchester City have hit form just as they're about to play Arsenal.
Yeah, standard, isn't it? Standard. And we're dipping out of form just as we're playing Man City.
Yeah. I mean,
Although we do have a very good record of late against the top six, or big six as you call it.
Yeah. But we're shit. We need a striker, Ben.
Well, we could be signing John Duran, or we could be signing Eddie Nketiah on loan, and he'll score a hattie against City.
Oh, it's not even funny.
Jamie Vardy, 42 years old. Arsenal finally sign him.
No, don't.
3-year deal. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or director of football, whatever you want to call it.
We don't have Edu.
We've got someone standing in, Jason something or other, and I don't know what he's doing at the moment. I'm sure we've got targets, but it's just not being worked, is it, at the moment, unfortunately?
Yeah, it is unfortunate. But anyway, that's enough of that. Have you got anything else that you would like to add?
I've got nothing this week, William.
Far?
Just a big thanks. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of it. If you do want to get in contact with us, please do. And for those of you that are still listening, congratulations. See you next week.
Cheers, guys. Drop the pod.